Hello.
Hello.
Well, where do we start? New signing Danny Elliot arrived on Saturday morning. Everything looked positive, and then a game of football ruined it. We'll be talking about the Aldershot game. Unfortunately, I wasn't there. Davey, you didn't make it either, but Mickey's got all the lowdown for us, so hopefully he can get through without cursing. Also, as well, you may have seen today that the National League streaming service has been announced. Unfortunately, obviously, Gateshead won't be involved this weekend because of the game tonight between Dagenham, whoever they're playing. Gillingham. So yeah, that's the cup game there, which affected our Saturday. Of course, we've got a Saturday off, and obviously the game after that is on Tuesday away at Notts County. So if you're going down there, message us, say go down and see Macaulay, Langstaff, and Kedwin Scott. They're still in fine form, unfortunately for us, but who knows? We might be able to keep them quiet. Full interactive show. Please like and subscribe. It really does help. We've got people messaging in already. We've got Davy Tron. We've got Mr. Luke. Look at that. I can't say it's the most entertaining of games with a disappointing end to it usually. Really loving the new signing of Danny Elliot. Of course, we'll get into that. Talking of Danny Elliot, the man on the promo, the man that took the photo on the thumbnail is Charles Waff, and he's put good evening there. So you can message us and do that as well. So yeah, that's the housekeeping out the way around. Like and subscribe, help us share and get into that. I know last week some people did like the funny videos. The lads went on their Christmas party night in Liverpool, and I think some of them got a little bit too intoxicated on the roller coaster. Can you imagine being sick on it and then it comes back and hits you in the face?
Lovely.
And also, Kenton Richardson's been doing some home improvements with his lass.
It's just easier.
Ow. More gems like that coming your way. But we'll start with the positive of this week. That Danny Elliot has signed with the club. Of course, he was a transfer target in the summer. He went to Boreham Wood. Things haven't exactly, he hasn't set the world light there, but still a fantastic striker. We've got him till the end of the season. So Mike Williamson's got his man, albeit a few months later. I think we were all messaging each other on Saturday morning, pretty happy with that one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When we were linked with him in the summer, I was hoping we could got him. Was it 31 goals in our last season he got?
Yeah. Any other season, he probably would have been a top goal scorer. Seems like he scores a good array of goals. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. It's everything we're looking for, really, isn't it?
Just about to say that. It's exactly what we need, isn't it? That's what we're crying out for. So we got him. Let's make use of him and see how it goes.
Yeah, hopefully he can complement the other strikers that we've got there, because we know we've got the big man that can hold it up in Aaron Martin. We've got the pace the likes of Adam Campbell that can come in, and if you've got someone in there that can mix it up with both of them, then it can only be a positive. And of course, goals is what's been evading us this season, and hopefully he can fill in. I'm guessing he got the number 9 shirt. He did. So if he can, jump into that number 9 shirt and keep it going. But we'll like to hear everyone's views as well. Keep sending them in. We haven't got a guest tonight. We had I did reach out to someone from the National League streaming service, but they want to stay in the background. They said best to have someone from the National League, and I don't think that'll happen. But we'll have a chat about that later on. We've got more messages coming in. They're flying in. Thank you, everybody. Evening, lads. How are you all? I forgot to ask. How are you?
Chris, thank you.
I thought you. I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Cold.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Two Gadgies and the Naturalist podcast.
Yeah. Gillingham are winning. Maybe they should have played us instead. I know their fans still wanted to. I don't know if there's quite a few of them had booked a weekend up here, and they were quite upset about that. So I don't know if there's still Dagenham fans coming up just for a night in Newcastle. Good evening, lads. Looking forward to the banter this week. Oh, it'll be good. And just before we go any further as well, I've seen bits of it on social media, video clip, the minutes, appreciation of Barry Wilson before the kickoff at the last home game. Beautifully observed, and gone too soon, of course, and
far too soon.
Yeah, and hope he was watching down on that. We've got a message here from Barry Lee. Evening, how are we all doing? We're doing all right. Mason's put, evening lads, disappointed with Saturday, but learning that Aldershot's new manager is a Macca makes it even more disappointing for the week. We need 20+ goal scorer. Should have kept Langsdorff Scott, but good transfer profit. Look, club's got to survive. Club's got to survive. And one thing that we are going to talk about as well, 1 second, I have got it here ready to hand, or I did have 1 second. There we go, the National League streaming service. So you're going to be able to get that. It looks like there's an app for it as well, or it can be done on your mobile. I believe it's under £5, isn't it, for the first 2 weeks of this service. And I believe it's open to everybody in this country as well. Going forward, I don't know if it's going to be just for international audiences. I presume it probably will be, because you can't undercut the teams playing at home and then have the stream cheaper than what it is to watch the game. So we'll watch that space, and hopefully it's something moving forward that the clubs can profit from. But yeah.
Davey, is that covering midweek games?
Saturday and midweek at the moment, yeah.
And midweek, so the Notts game will probably be on it.
Would be, yeah, I believe so, yeah. And I believe Notts County and Wrexham have kind of like a Sky Sports setup as well. They've got like a 5-camera setup, so that should be quite the thing. But as I say, I don't like to blow one one's trumpet. Their commentary won't be as good, so don't bother. So that's a good point. Yeah, Tuesday's game, I would imagine, will be on if that's in there. So £5, we'll be able to watch the game on Tuesday.
You know where they can shove it? Right up their hind ends.
Yeah.
You're not a fan, Mickey? You're not a fan?
It'll be great for the big clubs.
Yeah.
If what I believe is, depending on whatever audiences gets if you got 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, 20,000 listening from Wrexham or all over, they get I think it should go to the home club.
Yeah.
Personally.
We'll have to see the main details. I think they're still ironing things out. We'd like to know all your thoughts and views on the streaming service as well. We've got the Notts County game is defo on there. Yeah, so there you go. I'm impressed with their keeper. I was impressed with their keeper at the weekend. We'll get into that a little bit more shortly. Mickey will tell us more. I'm listening to you when it's nearly -5 in Macclesfield. Leaves them with the heating on. Heating on, you posh bugger. How I'm having to get more last.
He is really boasting about having the heating on, like any.
I've got more last, right? Peddling next door just so we can power this. There's no heat in this house.
Barry must have won the lottery recently, then, if that's the case. He's heating on.
I tell you what, everyone run Barry's.
money goes, yeah.
I've only got a few seals to cuddle. That's all I've got to keep warm with,
I know, but you do that in the warm, so
I'll do it anyway. But anyway, that's by the by.
But Mickey, walk me through Saturday's game.
Oh God, do we have to listen to Mickey? Come on then.
I suppose after you. I mean, we got beat.
What a roundup that is.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Bye.
Yeah, I went there. I was quite hopeful we could get 3 points. I've got to see it. I was expecting 3 points as well. And then the game kicked off, and yeah, we got beat, but it wasn't for the lack of effort. The lads tried the balls off. Yeah, we had a couple of chances, we missed them, and then they scored 2 really good goals. We
were creating many chances, Mickey. Was there many chances being created?
We created a few, but the ball in the final third was lacking. The passing was off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I tweeted the other day, if we're going to play like that from now till the end of the season, we may as well pack up.
Yeah.
But I know that I also put on the bottom of that, you are better than this, and I know you are.
Right.
I was really disappointed coming out of the ground.
Like maybe a few players coming back that still trying to get 100% fitness, and
definitely.
Yeah, it was a shame because there was that buzz, wasn't it? Obviously, we'd picked up a couple of good results, Southend, Torquay, and then we had a few players coming back, as you say. There, I think it was 4 changes, wasn't it? And it just felt good. But then, sort of at the end of it, there's been 1 or 2 games this season, like the Wealdstone game at home, like just at the end of it, just completely flat, just like that. Yeah. That's awful.
Well, we've got Mick Scully.
The ground was completely flat now.
Well, Mick Scully has I've defended the players and management all season, but that was a shocking performance. The tempo was far too slow. We made Aldershot look much better than they are. And, look, these performances are going to happen, but the problem is that where we are in the league, it seems to be highlighted more that, obviously because the panic and the situation, you want to be at least showing you're in these games, and to have one of those results and performances, by the sounds of it, it's a sickener, isn't it? And we always say that the players and management will be feeling it just as much as anybody else.
Yeah, they will. You can see when they come off the pitch, how much it means to them.
Yeah,
but like Mickey Scully's put there, absolutely spot on. It was a poor performance. It really was.
But we've done this consistently against the teams near the bottom. I was just bear with us on this one. I'll have a little bit of a rant because I was just looking at the league table, and so the top 4 teams, so Notts County, well, we could have snatched a win there. It was like an own goal right towards the end, wasn't it? Yeah. And then we got Wrexham, Woking, and Chesterfield. I think Wokin's probably the best team I've seen at the stadium this year so far. They just wiped the floor with us that day. But then after that, so the teams from 5th to 12th. So that's Barnet, Southend, Solihull, Bournemouth, Eastleigh, Halifax, Bromley, and Dagenham. We've only lost 1 game. We've played them all, and we've only lost 1 game out of that lot. So we seem to raise our game for those teams at that sort of level. But then if you look at the bottom 9, so I looked at the bottom 9, obviously we're one of them. So there's 8 teams at the bottom. We haven't played York, and we haven't played Oldham yet. But the other 7... we've only won 1. That was
Maidstone. You think it's we're I'm careful how to say this. Do you think we're not a team
attitude.
of pretty
I'll see it.
No, I wasn't on good then.
Could be Mickey. Aye.
Well, valid point. But I was going down the route of maybe when it comes up against the hustle and bustle and the teams that are a bit more dirtier and a bit more physical, we struggle against. Yet you come against the big boys, we got a bit more room. We play our game better than what we do against teams shutting it down.
I think that's more spot on, because if you look at like the footballing teams, as you say, towards the top end, let's be fair, we actually played quite well at Wrexham. I mean, the Wrexham fans were saying, even though we lost 3-1, we actually give a good account of ourselves. And then you look at all them other games at the top end there, and we performed well. We could have sneaked 1 or 2 wins out of that lot. It was only Halifax we lost against out of those top 12 teams. Between 5th and 12th. But yeah, as you said, just when it comes to the nitty gritty where everyone's fighting for their lives at the bottom, we're not doing it.
Mickey Scully's went on to say there's no urgency until we go behind. I think we need to. I know we like to play possession, but sometimes I'd like to see us really go for the opposition. Yeah. Mind you, though, when we played against Stevenage and we'll come back to 2-2, we took the game to them and looked good.
Yeah.
But again, we're 2-0 doing.
Yeah. True. Very true.
That's right.
Keep them messages coming in. We're going to play a message from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to keep up this chat also as well. Any stuff about the streaming service that's been announced, and are you going to Notts County? Well, we've got another message. This one's from Mason. Is it not with some of the players learning the league and other players getting the grips with getting back to playing at this in this league again? I don't know. It's a lot of the players have took to it. I think it's just consistency and getting them ball in the back of the net. Mick Scully again, but Aldershot weren't a hustle and bustle team. They played some decent stuff at times, and were just too mobile for us. It's
The Aldershot game felt a little bit like the Altrincham game. Can you remember the Altrincham game on the Tuesday night when, you know, we're going into it on, you know, 1 or 2 decent results, and it felt like we'd turned the corner and Altrincham was struggling, and we're like, here we go, beat these, we'll, you know, and that's what it felt like on Saturday, didn't it? You know, Aldershot looking at the table, thinking, here we go, we get 3 points here. We'll still be in the bottom 4, but, you know, we'll be moving in the right direction. But no,
yeah, we've got
10 awkward one, to be honest.
I hope to see you at Altrincham on April the 10th. LOL. That's from Barry Lee. He must be going to be making a trip there. The Heat Army getting back to a full strength squad now, so can no longer put the injuries as an excuse. Last season we took the game to teams, and we haven't done it as much. I wish we had. Can definitely turn it around. Yeah, but you know, the longer it goes on, the more urgent the turnaround has to come now. You know, we've got to start picking up points, and especially at home. And
how many wins have we got this season?
Is it 3? I think
4.
Yeah, it's not.
We are going to have to in how many games we are going to have a big upturn in form. I believe it's possible. I really do, and I think we're good enough to stay up. But something has to start now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the arrival of the new striker. You know, see, we've had a little bit of a change. Obviously, Adi Yusuf has left. Oh, I'm gone.
Oh, he's gone. He's away. But no, it does. It has to start now, and I mean, it doesn't help the fact that our next game's away to Notts County. So I think there's a full fixture list on Saturday. Yeah, full fixture list on Saturday, except obviously us, because obviously Dagenham being
down to the weather. Yeah, at the moment it's still a full fixture list apart from us. We'll see what the weather brings in the next couple of days. But
not that you want to look ahead too far, but that one on the 20th of December, away to Oldham. Whoa, what a game that'll be!
I tell you what, if it's like this, it's going to be bloody cold.
Oh. Can you imagine in Boundary Park? Whoa,
it's one of the highest grounds, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on a hill, isn't it? Yeah,
it's a bly up in Oldham.
God,
be interested to see how many go down to that one as well.
Well,
5 before Christmas,
just before Christmas. I know.
But anyway, let's keep it light-hearted. Have you seen the footage of Graham Fenton trying to get away from the Blythe Spartans training ground?
That'd been Fatty Fendi would have sprung up for 14 foot in the air on that trampoline, man.
Nah, Fenton would have just broke the trampoline.
I went through it.
Oh,
but I've got some other videos as well that I forgot I downloaded on here that they're absolute corkers. Wait, I get these up, didn't you worry? You
can see you've been enjoying trolling for these during the week, haven't you? You've been like, look at these lads, champion.
Well, I have. We've got footage of Bernard Williams on holiday.
Him and Paul Turnant.
Sorry, Bernard.
I wonder if that's how he done his knee.
This is how Bernard done his knee.
Oh my goodness!
Oh no!
Oh! There we go. That was when Bernard had his bleach blonde hair. But yeah, keep their messages coming in, and also say a prayer for Bernard's family jewels. Ollie back ASAP. We are short on creativity in the middle of the park without him. Mr. Luke, if we win against Notts County, that'll heavily confuse. Sorry, if we win against Notts County, that'll heavily confuse me. But it will be a miracle. Well, stranger things have happened. When we played
only off once, I think, this season, you know.
McCauley and staff, can we do it down there? Who knows? Who knows? As I say, we know how dangerous they are. The Heat Armies, but agree with you, lads. It's not been a great start against Oldham. We need 3 points and then go away to York. Got to get something in the games against York. That's not what he's put out. Obviously, on a positive, pick up a home and away results. I'm sure we can. It has to come. Sure, it has to come quickly. It does, and I think no one will know that more than the players. You know, it's and the people within the club. It is, you know, it is what it is at the moment. We can't hide from that.
How close is Ollie to coming back?
I think he's in contention for Tuesday night. He was back on the training pitch in the pictures on the club's social media.
Yeah, they said the Aldershot game come a week too early, didn't it? So
yeah, it did. Right. Well, we're going to play out a video here. This was the interview that Jack McGragan got with the new striker Danny Elliot. We spoke about him before, but this is what he had to say on signing for the club on Saturday.
Danny, I mean, slightly overdue. Welcome to Gateshead. Obviously, coming in on Saturday just before the Aldershot game, but coming in today, I suppose, first training session with the rest of the boys. I mean, how have you settled in and how have you found things this morning?
Fairly well. I've enjoyed obviously being around the boys. I didn't know any of them before really. We've got a lot of kind of mutual friends and stuff. Having played at Hartlepool before, and also having a few old teammates that have played at Gateshead previously. So connected with the boys really easily and found it really enjoyable so far.
I mean, you mentioned there not knowing anyone. I suppose, is that sometimes a bit difficult for a player when, you know, you're coming into a dressing room on, I suppose, a bit of a clean slate where there isn't a familiar face to kind of latch onto straight away, or do you not really find it too difficult?
Not really too difficult. I've had a lot of new teams before. You know, I've played against Gateshead a few times, so I know of a lot of the players, and I believe some of them know of me as well. So it's been fairly easy, and you know, they've all been really welcoming to me as well.
Yeah, and in terms of obviously joining on loan from Bournemouth for the rest of the season, I mean, what sort of factors went into the decision to make the trip up north?
I wanted more game time, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity. I know obviously playing in the same league as Bournemouth, I believe I'm capable of scoring goals at this level. Played against Gateshead a lot of times, so I know they play fantastic football, which I'm looking forward to hopefully being involved in. And I know they've got a lot of good players, so it was a great opportunity. You know, I knew there was interest from their side as well, and as I say, I wanted more game time, so I wanted to take the opportunity.
Yeah, you mentioned, I suppose, the interest from our side as well. Obviously, Mike and Busted had tried to get you over the summer, but I suppose, does that make it nice in a way that, you know, you're coming somewhere where you know there's been previous interest from the management side and that they know that they feel like you would fit into the side?
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, going to a new team, you know, the more game time isn't necessarily guaranteed, but knowing that the coaching staff here are fans of mine and like the way I play and have wanted me here for a while, it's definitely makes things a lot easier and makes me feel confident coming into the club, you know, being given the number 9 and being told that I think I can do well here. It definitely gives me confidence and makes me excited to start playing games.
Obviously, you mentioned playing against Gateshead sides recently, obviously with Boston last season and Bournemouth here already this season. But in terms of, you know, when you've been a player preparing to sort of go against a Gateshead side that Mike and Busted have been in charge of, I mean, what have sort of been the main points or what you've been expecting to come up against, I suppose, when you're playing against Gateshead?
They press really aggressively. Keep the ball really well, you know, they play out, a lot of players wanting the ball, moving it really well and just playing really attractive football and scoring a lot of goals. You know, last year scored a lot of goals, had some high scoring players in the team, and I know they create a lot of chances, so I'm hoping that we can replicate that and I can score some goals for the club.
Yeah, and you mentioned a little earlier in terms of obviously coming in and trying to get more regular game time, but I mean, just how do you feel personally in terms of match fitness and things like that? Obviously game time's been a little more on the limited side at Bournemouth so far this season, but coming on for your debut in the second half on Saturday, how do you just feel personally coming in?
I feel fit, sharp, ready to go. You know, still obviously looking after myself and being full-time for the last few months and obviously still featuring in a lot of games. I feel ready to go. You know, I'm excited for Notts County next week and looking forward to hopefully making my mark on the club.
Mentioned Notts County next up, without a game this weekend, of course, with the Dagenham fixture being postponed, so I suppose you've got a longer period of training to kind of settle in and acclimatise and things like that, but you're looking at that, I suppose, as a positive, having a bit more time on the training pitch than you normally would before you go into a game next Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a blessing in disguise really, because it just gives me an opportunity to get to know the lads a little bit more and you know, get used to the way we play, know everyone's name and that kind of thing. So it gives me a little bit longer to get relaxed and settle in, really.
Yeah, and I suppose in terms of former clubs, really, obviously when the news went out on Saturday that you'd joined for the rest of the season, Boston fans and Hartlepool fans in particular were both pretty complimentary of you. And I mean, I suppose for you as a player, is that nice knowing that you've been at clubs, made an impact, and that fans still speak highly of you after you've left?
No, definitely. I only had the one season at Boston, had a shorter time than that at Hartlepool, but had some success as a team at Hartlepool and had some success as a team at Boston as well. I had probably my best season at Boston personally, and I'm glad that the fans obviously speak highly of me afterwards as well.
And obviously coming in sort of nearing the halfway point of the season now, but how are you personally just looking to make an impact? Obviously going through a bit of a rough period results wise at the minute, but how are you looking to, I suppose, slot into things and help turn things around? Doing what I do best, hopefully scoring some goals, stretching teams, running at people, taking shots on, being exciting. Personally, obviously being confident, scoring goals, getting back to playing my best football, and obviously as a team, getting out the relegation zone, climbing up the league and solidifying a place in this league where Gateshead should be, really. Yeah, and you mentioned obviously before Notts away specifically coming up next Tuesday. You've already scored against them this season for Boreham Wood, and I suppose in the grander scheme of things, not a huge amount of trickier games going Notts away at the minute. But I mean, how do you feel the approach needs to be for that one next week?
I think the boys, especially from speaking to them this morning, are going to react really well. Obviously it was hurting everybody to lose on the weekend, and I think there'll be a big reaction from the boys. For me personally, I'm really excited. I live around the corner from Notts County Stadium, back in Nottingham, so it's a stadium I've always wanted to play in, never played in. Maybe I actually did play in it as a child in a school game, but not as an adult. So I'm really looking forward to that, having that opportunity. And as I say, I think the boys are going to react really well. And we spoke this morning about trying to graft for every point that we need to get, and I think they're definitely going to be doing that.
I will go. That ended just before I finished eating my biscuit. Sounds like a very well-spoken man, and he looks up for it, doesn't he?
Comes across really well, doesn't he? Sorry, Mickey.
Well, he does, and if it all gone tits up at Gates, he only lives around the corner from Notts County, so there you go. And he's sell, hasn't he?
No, of course we showed this footage before of Burnham winning. Other footage has emerged of Simon Johnson running to save him. Wait. It's only fun on a match day. Of course, all in good fun. I just choke on my
What are you eating?
It's a hang on one second. It's a Cadbury's Nutter. It's cranberry, almond, and peanut with milk chocolate.
Well, there you go.
It's beautiful. It really is. But some of the messages that came in while we were on there, we did put them up. I think Notts County's new signing in midfield to make their squad harder to break down. Yes, they've signed Bostwick, who's had more clubs than he's had more clubs than Tiger Woods. That lad, very talented. Yes, he's a very talented footballer. And I thought when he came on against Aldershot, he has some quality in him, and could be a ghost of Notts County past if we score against them. Yeah, well, let's hope so. Especially if he lives nearby. But yeah, it's let's hope he looks a confident man in his own abilities. We've seen some of the goals that he scored there in that interview that Jack McGragan put together, and we know he can score them. So hopefully he can gel in and fit in. But you mentioned you're going down.
Cameo, Davey.
Sorry.
Put a good little cameo on Saturday, and he come on.
Let's hope he starts. We've got 1 second. We've got here. Do you realise they will steal your fan heater? I don't know who's going to steal my fan heater. Let the council know. It's on. I can't believe this. It's just put. Sorry, I'm late. Hope you're all okay. Liv, you've missed probably the best 29 minutes we've ever done. You really have. You missed everything. Mickey was naked dancing. It was the delight.
I'm just waiting to see Darren for his stash.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about last week?
Oh yeah. Well, And I'll say hopefully we can get sponsored by Manscaped in the future. I'll recap though if anyone else has just joined us, like Liv or Prescript me out, really professional.
Should we recap for you?
Well, can't do this. Can't do this when you're doing streams, mind.
Oh,
yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, no. I eat before and after the game. I'm an athlete. But National League streaming service is obviously starting, and a game on Tuesday should be available to watch. I think it's £4.75 for the first 2 weeks of the stream as a special offer. They're having a soft launch, as they're calling it, and they're making sure everything's working before they go in with their full array of commentaries and service that they're going to put on for the rest of the season. Also as well, I'm going down to Notts County, and any other messages, send them in. Any thoughts on the new player that came in at the weekend, Danny Elliot, who we just seen in the interview there? But Dave, how are you getting down to Notts County?
So yeah, I'm going down. I've got plans to go Notts County and Oldham. So yeah, I just want to go. I mean, I've been to Notts. I don't know when the FA Cup game was. We got beat 3-0, didn't we?
Maybe 8 years ago now.
8 years ago now, is it? There was a decent contingent went down. That's when they were still in the Football League. So, but I looking forward to it here. I'm driving down, and yeah, looking forward to the match. I mean, it's we're going to be realistic. It's Notts County away. It's going to be probably one-way traffic. But hey, let's hopefully give a good account of ourselves and see how it goes.
Yeah.
How many times have we went to grounds like this and come away with 3 points, and you thought, where the hell did that come from?
We went to Stockport in the past, Wrexham. We're capable of doing it. We can play our game and take it to them. There's no reason why we can't be competitive. We've got here a message from Mr. Luke. Do you think the game's in hand for teams at the bottom of the table, good or not? Got to win them, and everyone's in the mire down there, and them two clubs have got off the field problems. Well, Oldham's of trying to turn it around, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes at them football clubs. So hopefully, for our point of view, they don't catch us or overtake us. But the
bottom of the table is crazy, isn't it? You sort of got Oldham. Who have you got? Oldham, Torquay, and who's the other one? Scunthorpe. Wow, big football league clubs, really, when you look at it.
Yeah. Is he flying by puffing airways? You'll be huffing and puffing when he gets in Hooters and not.
Goodness, don't tell me Twitter fans that, dear me.
This is the night we all decided to tune in. I thought he was just all about nature, not naturist. Making a few nights away in Nottingham for the game. Oh well, there you go. Making a trip of it. So hope you have a good time down there, Christopher.
Down to Rock City.
No. Tip off from Mickey there.
Aye. Hooters and Rock City.
What a night.
Oh, there you can.
Proper rock disco.
Yep. Tell them to get the match on the TV and sit and watch it on TV.
Yeah.
Sit Hooters.
Yeah.
But obviously, look, this is the last video, but I like this one. Obviously, we had the cold weather coming. Ian Watson this morning had a bit of a disaster. I mean, why would you pour a kettle on a bloody
schoolboy?
I've seen that done.
Oh yeah,
have you?
I was going home. I was going to work on the morning when I used to live down in Pelo, and I was going through Leam Lane on the bus, and there was a bus driver driving up through the Leam, and he seen this woman come out with a bucket of water, and you could see the steam coming off it. And I was sitting quite near the front. He went, no. And she just threw the windscreen and just went, boosh. He pulled over. And then next thing you see is the bloke. He was like, what? And the bus driver got back and he says, I think I'll leave that one there.
Jesus Christ. I think Scunthorpe will make quite a few signings with their new owners, which I'm happy for them and both of them at the table. Doesn't always work like that. There's a rot set in there. It's a couple of years deep now, that rot. Obviously don't want to see any club go under or anything, but that's a big thing to turn around that. Big thing.
Who's managing them at the minute as well?
Mickey Nelson's caretaker manager at the moment, isn't he? Yeah. So, yeah, I wish him all the best. Apart from when we play them. I've already read that one there. He's he's added more into it. A few minutes away. Should be a good following from both teams. Yeah,
should be.
How many did Heat Army take?
Well, you'll have all the West Peterborough branch will be there. There's the Grantham Heat as well.
I know they had that 17,000, but they're up there. They're flying high. I would expect at least close to 10,000. You would think, wouldn't you? Attendance for that game?
Oh yes,
surely.
9,000. Would you say?
I would say between 6 and 8.
Mm-hmm. Got a message from Lee Ferrier. What do you think we need to do differently to stay up and score goals? Goals. And hopefully,
what's our leading goal scorer? He's on 4 goals. You know what I mean? That says all you need to know, isn't it? Yeah, when he's not scoring enough goals.
I mean, this time last year, I think Ked and Mac had something like 24 between them, 25.
Yeah. Forgot to mention the FA Trophy weekend is coming up as well after Notts County. I still don't know if I'm going to be able to cover that one. I don't think I am. Unfortunately. The wife had a look at the fixture list over my shoulder and seen there was nothing there and planned something in, and then I realised afterwards, I was like, it's FA Trophy weekend.
Well, I mean,
my balls. Can I get rid of this one? She'll kill us.
I'm glad this is after the watershed, but I think it's that Gloucester game. That'll, it's going to give Elliot some confidence, isn't it? He'll get embedded in even more. You know what I mean? Because we should see a bit of the ball in a game like that. So,
well, I'm hoping the likes some of the lads who are not regulars. You expect Langley and all them to come in for that as well. So I can't see Mike going. I mean, he can't make too many changes. We haven't got the numbers, but.
Yeah,
I would imagine there'd be some changes.
Have they moved the game with Gloucester City to a 12:30 kickoff? I haven't seen anything about that.
No.
The ticket giveaway's got the Gloucester game is 12:30 kickoff. Now, if England beat France, I don't know what the crack is for the kickoff time.
Not sure on that.
Doesn't sound like that.
But I'm sure we'll be able to confirm that as well before next week. Obviously, we'll be on
what about Langley, by the way? Obviously, he's come on loan from Newcastle, and I'm sure his idea wasn't just to be sitting on the bench at Gateshead for the season. But you can't knock Monty. He's brilliant. He's a superb keeper.
See, it's always a danger with a player like that. I mean, when we've had the likes of Pye, at least he's adaptable and moving different places. For a goalkeeper, I'd say that all or nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And unfortunately for Langley, he's still a young lad developing. When you're fighting for your survival in the league, you've got to go with a little bit more experience. In my humble opinion,
Fully agree.
I think what we've seen from Monty has shown you why I think it's been the right decision at the moment. That's not to say that Langley might not get back in. If he does, I hope he flourishes and does fantastic. But this is important stuff. This is man's football, and you've got to man up and get yourself in there and show why you should be in there. We've got here the semi-finals are Tuesday and Wednesday night.
That's the World Cup, isn't it? And then the finals on the Sunday. So I can't see them why they would move the game.
The third place playoff is 3 p.m. No one cares about third.
No one cares about that.
No,
Gloucester's better than that.
He might play against Gloucester City. Who knows? I think that might be about
Langley.
Yeah. So good shout. Yeah, may be in for that one. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. We'll see what the young lad's got to do. He's going to have to prove himself in training, isn't he? And show what he's about. He's definitely capable. I mean, the size of him, God, he can get down quick as well. He's
a good goalkeeper. Just inexperienced at the minute.
Well, that's goalkeepers. Unless they're some prodigy, that they don't seem to get into the start again at the prime till they're 28, do they?
At least,
really, you know what I mean? It's one of them.
Maybe it's just the ones we sign.
Maybe.
Well, a keeper from Aston Villa last year. What was his name? I forgot.
Philip Marshall.
Marshall, because he went on loan to a league club, didn't he? again for this season?
No, Chapman.
I know Chapman's at Salford.
Marshall is the third choice goalkeeper at Villa, and he's involved in training on a match day and things like that. He's there. He's made the bench I think, once or twice. Yeah, so he's.
I just wondered what happened to him.
Yeah. But anyway, before we go any further, keep sending in messages. Obviously, we'll talk about the streaming service a little bit more, find out what the lad's opinion is and your opinion. But follow our social media. It really does help. The Heat Army podcast needs your help. No, we don't need money. All we need is you to do one simple thing. It'll take less than a second. If you could hit that like button, the subscribe button, and share whatever post that we put up regarding Gateshead Football Club, it'll go a long way in helping the show build and ultimately helping us push the club to the moon. I was going to come back early and put it all on Davey when he was changing his top because he took his top off.
That's because I'm sweating.
Oh, he's sweating. He must be rich and all. He's got the heating on. He's
got a seal on his feet. He's one of the seals, and he's he's wearing them like boots.
They're still alive.
If anyone wants a Heat Army seal coat, just give us a shout.
And they'll get it stitched for you. But, yeah, of course, we were talking about this earlier on. Of course, it was going to be due to be this weekend. Gateshead would have been involved in this show in the game against Dagenham Redbridge. That isn't going to be the case because of Dagenham's FA Cup game tonight. And also, the game on Tuesday will be shown as well against Notts County down there. So it's pretty good for fans who don't want to get to watch it. Still, for me, I hope they don't stream the Saturday games personally, because even if it's for people abroad, there's you can do things like VPNs. I'm not lifting the curtain on anything on how to get around things. People do this all the time to watch different things on Netflix. And if it's cheaper than coming to the game and you can watch it from the comfort of your home, I don't want clubs like us, the smaller clubs, falling foul to this because it'll stop people from traveling, especially in the weather and things like that. And I just hope it's used properly and shared about fairly. That would be, my summary of it. Obviously excited to be that they're carrying our commentary onto it, but it's not like I'm getting paid. But it just shows you that's one of the things that makes me think, if they're not paying the commentators. So
to me, the big clubs will make money on it.
Yeah.
Your Southends, your Chesterfields, your Notts Counties, your Wrexhams.
I know there's like 15% will be shared between the who is it? 15% is going to, is it 12 or 15%? I can't remember. It's going to be shared with National League South and North. So what, they're going to get a £50 check at the end of the year.
But also we're talking about from our point of view, but also from their point of view, from a business point of view, putting Gateshead versus Boreham Wood, are they going to make any money from that? Is at any point, it's fine with Wrexham and Notts County, but these lesser clubs in this division, is it cost effective?
It'll be fantastic for the likes of Arvid, of course, and even the chairman who lives abroad. Lives abroad a lot. A lot of expats, and a lot of people in America that watch. They follow us and talk to us on here as well. It'd be great for them to be able to watch a game. That's a fantastic thing. But in the scheme of things, does 12 people around the world warrant that? And if it's not going to be, if the money isn't going to be shared equally, or maybe I'd say in bulk towards the home club because they're missing out on the attendance, so to speak, then that's the way. Because if you're on telly, the home club gets more money, don't they? And when the payouts, that's compared to the away club who are featuring in the game. So it should be the same for that. It should be the home club benefits, but we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's if that is the way it's going to be put out. They're still working on it. We haven't heard anything else. We've got here. I think the streaming should be optional for clubs, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, I can see the point. It's got here. We are both loyal volunteers, Dave. We are. To be
honest, in my opinion, like I've said before, the big clubs will make the money, and for basically doing nothing, the National League will get a pot of money again. And one thing about the National League is they love an income stream. Look at the programs and the way they're going on with the gates for the playoffs and playoff final.
Yeah.
If they've got a bit more expendable income, if clubs are struggling, like the Southend, we'll use Southend as an example, instead of fining them, they're prepared to give some of that money back to to clubs that are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you they don't.
No. Of course not.
And I mean, we've got lots of messages coming in, and we've got one here. I've been looking forward to streaming the games. I can't actually go, especially when I'm away at work. Of course, that's where it benefits. From what they said, they're going to be all games, Saturday and midweek games. I think it will affect away followings. I think it will.
It will. Yeah.
Well, me personally, I'd prefer to be at a game. If I support a club, I'd prefer to be at the game.
Oh yeah,
but all away games, but
floating sports, which a lot of non-league clubs do depend on. You have people that come that are like, don't want to say the word part-time fans, but have an interest in the club and maybe come and and say if there was a game tomorrow and we've seen what the weather's like now, if there was an option for them to watch it in their own house for less than what it was to come to the game, what people kind of do.
Look at Tuesday nights. I mean, Mickey, obviously you're not going down Tuesday nights, but for $4.95, God, you can't even buy a pint of beer for that in some places. For basically a pint, you can watch the game. And so you can see the temptation there for people is to let's do it.
You can, but as Mickey said, it's benefiting the bigger clubs. They're not gonna miss that the 40 people that would come down from Gateshead in the grand scheme of things when they're getting the crowds of 10,000 to 17,000. 40 people isn't going to make a difference, but it makes a difference to the football, in my opinion, to the support of the players and to the feel of the game if there isn't any away fans there. And that is just my worry, because like if we play Wrexham at home and they're still up there and we play them in 24th of January, Wednesday night. Now that, for all intents and purposes, is going to feel like a cup game. It's the big boys coming to town, big following. They're up there. They expect to win. If we win, it's a shock. Now, if this streaming service is in place, how many of them, a couple of thousand fans, might think, it's freezing. It's just been Christmas. I'll watch this on the telly. That's the worry. That's the worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can understand it as well. I can understand it. I mean, look, I can't afford to go away games.
No.
I'm not going to sit here and preach like, oh, well, I'll go to a away game. I can't afford to go to do it. I've got a young family, Christmas on the way, and bills. I can't afford to go to that, but obviously this is an option. Will I do it? I don't know. I might not even get the game on Tuesday. I don't, to be honest, at the moment, I hadn't even really thought about it. But I just want to hear what everyone else thinks about it. We've got here Crystal Story. I think the streaming service was inevitable with the EFL also having one. Of course, I suppose there's a model there, isn't it, for that? It's on their website, isn't it? All the clubs have got like a link to affiliate with the Football League. They've all got the same website.
I just think it should be international. I think it's international, but like you see, you can get around it with the VPN.
Did anyone? Yeah. Well,
like the Darren, especially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Did anyone watch the first ever National League North game televised yesterday? Great to see BT Sports taking an interest in the 6th tier. Now, we spoke about this before we came on air, didn't we? And I said, I think Davey posed the question, are they going to put more on? And I thought, probably not that many, because they're not going to really put a game on of like Guiseley at home to Farsley, are they? That's a crowd of 300 there isn't exactly going to light up the world on telly. it's nice that they're doing it, but it's for the bigger clubs. Let's be honest, and you can understand why as well, because why invest money into showing something if the viewers aren't going to be there? That's the top and bottom.
Well, the two teams that were on it just tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it did.
Who they're going to pick.
It reminds me of iFollow that the EFL have. Yes, it's. And I heard from their Notts County manager that they're slap bang in the middle of the country, and it isn't a bad for them and their fans. So everyone's got a different opinion, but obviously us and Torquay have probably got similar mindsets, I would imagine. We're in different. Every club's got a different circumstance. You know what I mean? And you're not going to be able to please everybody, and that's a simple matter of it, isn't it? It's like life. You're not always going to please everybody, but we're allowed to have our say.
Did this all start off? Was about a month ago? Was it Wrexham? Chairman?
2.5 months ago, I think it was.
Aye, it was kicking off
because they wanted to stream their own games internationally, but there was I'm sure I read something that clubs were going to be allowed to stream their own games midweek.
Oh,
now, obviously, that probably takes it down to 5 games a season, doesn't it? And I think they want to do more, obviously, with the interest that they have because of the documentary and who's involved with the club. Now, if they're going to be getting 5,000 a game, on a high end, maybe more, tuning in to watch them from around the world, then they're going to want to do that, aren't they? It's untapped money. And that's why it's been pushed forward. But I thought each club should have been able to stream their own like they did in the pandemic, and it should have been up to each individual club if they were wanting to do it. To me, that would have been the sensible way to do it, and they could have vetted the streams with a reserve game that went through just to them to watch to see if they were happy with the product and who was commentating and things like that. But I say that's common sense, and the National League don't seem to have that, do they? From what we've experienced in the days gone by.
Yeah, you cast aspersions about the National League committee.
I know. Hopefully, we can have a big away following for York City away on Boxing Day. Yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get to that one.
Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it?
Let's hope weather permitting as well, because it's not the greatest at the minute. Gateshead to Torquay, massive journey for Heed fans as well. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's everyone that they just get to Torquay for most clubs, even like Manchester clubs, and it's a shank, and you can understand why us and them would be a little bit. Well, I'm not speaking for them, but you would imagine Neil will not be too happy with the prospect of no fans coming potentially if they're going to watch games online.
But Torquay's quite well supported, aren't they?
They are.
I think well supported teams in this league.
They are well supported, but what I'm saying is they do like the influx of away fans because a lot of people make an overnight weekend of it. Yeah, the money that's spent in the ground in the local area, that'll all be lost for the stream, So
I mean, you're still going to get fans that'll travel regardless.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But
to me, it's just Wrexham trying to feather the nest. If it was a case of you stream that game, whoever thingies in your spirit, whatever, is it 3 ways or 4 ways, you all get an equal share. There wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. But let's flip it on its head. 20 years ago, lads, 25 years ago, if you had said, Christ, you can watch Gateshead play away to Maidenhead United and you haven't got a gun down, you'd be like, get in. Couldn't even get radio commentaries 15 years ago, man, from away games half the time.
I'm radio commentaries now, to be honest.
Yeah. So
I do like watching games on Gators on telly, like big games.
Yeah.
Like the Charles game a couple of years ago, and I prefer the radio commentaries.
I remember watching Gators away games on CFAX. Just waiting for the goal. I mean, honestly, it's moved on so much, hasn't it? Technology.
TV transport, streaming will get bigger and bigger. I think it will, but I think it's got to be done where everyone benefits. And at the minute,
not to the detriment of clubs.
If what Ollie Bayliss put out doesn't fill me with confidence going forward, but let's see what happens. you never know. It's a work. I mean, I'll take that off the screen. Remember, it's in its infancy, so whatever flaws will be worked out, because I'm sure if clubs aren't happy, they'll not do it, and then things will happen. So we'll just have to watch this space. But I think everyone's got to have if you're a non-league fan, you will have fears over that type of thing, because we run on match day revenue, and sponsors. So I followed Gates at home and away in the late 90s and early 2000s. But now the money is the travel.
Cost of travel.
Yeah,
it is.
It's crazy. And then you don't know if your trains are going to be on. I do agree that it has to benefit all clubs in the National League, both North and South too. Yeah, it does. It does. And hopefully, I say we're only just finding out bits and bobs. Wait until there's a proper press release and what they're going to put out. I mean, the only thing I've seen was from Ollie Bayliss. He put up like a text thing and like a photo, it's a picture of text and what the breakdown was. So whether that is the actual 100% thing, I don't know. But we're just going off what we've seen. But it is a little bit exciting, though, isn't it? The prospect of being able to watch Gateshead. I mean, I'm not going to be like going, I'm not going to watch it out of principle. It's like, wow,
maybe
how far technology has brought non-league. I mean, let's talk about the goals like over the years that we've missed, like Keith Fletcher's overhead kick away to Whitby. It's gone. It's in the ether. Now every goal is recorded in non-league. A non-league player can have a career now till the end of his career, play 500 games. Every game and every goal is there to be watched.
On YouTube, yeah.
The likes of Paul Thompson, that there's a sniff of something that he achieved is there. Now, we're in such an age where we can do this. Look, we're effectively doing a TV show, ourselves, putting it out there, advertising the club. Just makes you wonder what it's going to be like in the next 20 years. And I think
it's got to be better than this in 20 years. We should have cracked it by
then. I would do a mic drop and say that this is the pinnacle, but the mic's just too expensive to drop. No, as I say, we all know what kind of circumstances we're in at the minute, and you just, when you take a little step back and go, wow, God, we can listen to any Gateshead game we want. We could potentially watch it now. It's like
real, isn't it? You think about it, like you said, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you were delighted if you got commentary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's come on leaps and bounds, and kids today that maybe started following Gates 2 years ago will not know any different. They'll think it's just been like watching Newcastle, where you can watch it all and listen to it all.
It's I remember in the 90s, you used to have to wait for the pink to come out if it was an away game. To get the crack of what's happened with the match. Jeff Bowen and the pink had written a match report from an away game. And that's where you got the first bit of news, isn't it? Yeah. Where now, you're refreshing your Twitter page every second saying, come on.
Well, what about the old team talk lines?
I was thinking about
a minute and they give you the news and who scored underneath. And
it's a program. John Young used to ring it from the school phone to find out. People, he didn't go like in the headmaster's office and that, and they said run up a massive bill, ringing 98 numbers. But John, but have you seen the Money Gate documentary about funding in the pandemic? And
no.
I haven't. I have to keep an eye
watch that.
I meant to watch it the other day. Funny enough, I seen it and I thought, I wonder if Joe Caller's on there, because he had a thing about Gate Men, didn't he?
Yeah, I still love to listen to the commentary on a Saturday at home. It's so good with a guest. You say I'm bad on you, isn't
well, get in, Barry, lad. Get the names in.
That was an underhanded dig, wasn't it? I'll shake your hand, but slap you on the face. 20 years time, they'll be streaming the likes of the Northern Premier Division 1. You wouldn't be shocked.
You wouldn't be neither.
And Liv Walden's, I used to love the pink newspaper.
The good old pink.
Everyone loved the pink.
Well, that's how I.
Bob Boland's comments.
I was about 13. I seen Gator.
6 o'clock at night, you used to arrive in. You were standing at the newsagents waiting for it to arrive. You know,
I used to deliver them.
Did you really?
On a Saturday after the match, I used to go and do this. Used to go around to the what do you call it? The Thomas Wilson Club.
Oh, aye.
The Victoria.
When Mickey was a lad.
Off. Young scout. Yeah.
Mick had a wiggle in his walk. Walking around Aladdin Estate.
I tell you what.
I love it when you see a goal as you scream it. That's just
he's got you've him, Barry.
He's got it as his ringtone.
I have. It's Barry, no, when because I probably missed one of his messages. He's like, I'll stick it into him. I mean, we'll stay on for another 5 minutes. Anyone wants to send a message? Are you going down to Notts County? Anything on Danny Elliot if you just join us, and of course the streaming service. But I think, like anybody of a club our size, you're going to be wary of these things. But as you say, in 5 years' time, it might just be the norm, and that's where it is. So I think even some clubs might have been at our level and level below. Maybe we were looking at commentaries because I thought it might stop people from coming. So it's online. Compared to local radio, it's a strange thing.
Strange as strange as it sounds, Davey. People actually look forward to your commentaries on the match day now.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
No way.
I actually have it as my message tone. Can you imagine that? That's Phil.
I tell you what, that scream with Adam Campbell, I would love that as my ringtone.
I'll sort it out for you, Mickey. Don't worry.
Was that really? Was that the one where only dogs could hear? Was that the one? It got so high pitched.
Why does he do this to me? I must have that whole clip as a ringtone. I would love it.
That was the second one. Yeah, pure filth.
Pure filth. What was the other one? Skills to pay the bills.
I had a few last season. I'll start working on some more. But Mark stable. That's where it is. He stops us from doing it. But I say one thing though. I say me and Davey's got the shirts on, but you seen Davey's shirt? It's not like that. Stand up, Davey.
It's blank.
It's clouds.
Look at the lovely clouds.
All it needs is the little island with a seal on it.
I'm going to start drawing one on now, should I? I just bought it recently and it arrived, and I just assumed that's what it was going to be. I just thought, oh well, they mustn't be putting the sponsors on, but
give you the fun. It's a mistake. For you on an island by yourself. My cousin's Ben has just started supporting Gates after supporting Liverpool. Well, he's made the sensible decision.
He definitely has.
Apparently, it's the Adam Campbell one that he's got as his token.
That's well done, Barry.
Yeah, it's quite weird to think that when he's at the queue in Tesco and all of a sudden you hear me going,
oh, good.
Man. Look, I used to recommend podcasts to people, but I'm going to recommend a YouTube channel to people. It's called Blot Outdoors, right?
Oh, you're joking. I watch it.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
It's funny, and it's not.
Oh, it is. If just Blot Outdoors, go urban camping on a motorway embankment. It is 30 minutes of pure joy. It's like Vic and Bob have come to real life, and you see a Mackham and his height challenged friend getting drunk in the bushes. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's something else. It's
Blot Outdoors.
I was at work and I was bored and I sat and watched it. You sent us a link, Davey, and I sat and I was just laughing. Yeah. Honestly, 30 minutes of just honestly.
There's one where Mick gets the little lad. He gets drunk and very rowdy in the tent, and he's like screaming at him. It's really good, really good. Anyway,
there's a plug. Oh dear.
Thing is, though, he's got nearly 500,000 views for sleeping on a roundabout, stealth camping. 500,000. We're in the wrong. Yeah, we'll do a podcast
wrong business.
roundabout. Can you imagine it? Be our luck. A Robin Reliant comes flying through the middle.
It's a big 4x4 change the whole roundabout up with us 3 lying on it.
We've got here. What's your plans for the weekend with Gated not playing? I'll probably be getting wrestled by the kids and beaten up.
I'm actually going to my mother's over from Spain, so
I'm getting ready for the England match, isn't it? The England match kicks off at 7.
Yeah, the England match as well.
Hey, Mickey, you've not mentioned the ladies. They were after players. They made an appeal, haven't they?
Yeah, well, after a few players, that's what he said. I haven't spoken to anybody. Obviously, the game against Washington was called off with a waterlogged pitch.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the transfer kitty must have run dry after spending all the money on Crit and Lib.
I tell you what, Mars Bars and Lucas said isn't cheap this time of year. But no, we are endeavouring to have a ladies' night again. We did. We had a great one with the girls. We'll have to try and arrange it on a night. Mickey's going to have to reach out and find out what night is best when they're not training, and we'll have a ladies.
We'll have a proper ladies' night again, and get some of the lasses on again.
Definitely, I think it'll be great. We've got here, I'll be cooking Xmas dinners for the people. I'm sick of seeing turkey already. Oh,
wow.
I really fancy
that Barry is a chef.
I'm guessing that, but you'd hope is unless he's laying carpets and just making turkey.
I'm feeling your pain. I'm not doing it now, Barry, but
he's just knocking in nails with a frozen turkey.
I tell you what it is, that's you talk about turkey and you're starting from about the very first day of December all the way till the 25th, every day, turkey 3 times a day.
I'd just be more worried if you were like in that restaurant, you know, and you're ordering your food and stuff, and Barry's phone's going off in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
No, Barry, you're professional. There's no phones in the kitchen.
No, can I order an egg and chips, please? Will the Dagenham game be after New Year? I would imagine so. I can't say.
I would imagine so. To be, I've never looked. Have we got a game in between Christmas and New Year, Boxing Day and New Year? I don't think we have we?
Between the York games, we must have, surely.
Nope.
I don't think we have.
Wow.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, Dagenham won't be too impressed because obviously, you know, if it's rearranged for Tuesday night, you know what I mean? Dagenham.
It is, isn't it? And unless both teams get knocked out of the FA Trophy, then it can be arranged for.
True, right.
Trophy weekend.
Well, that depends on other teams being playing. If they're supposed to have that fixture against a team, the other team, like say they were playing Barnet, for instance.
Oh yeah.
Barnet might have been knocked out of the trophy as well.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's more better for us if it is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Most teams are full time now, so it doesn't really bother them, does it?
No. But as I say, we'll have to see. Hopefully that game will get sorted and we'll romp that one. And as I say, next week we'll try and get a Gloucester fan on actually. After the Notts County game, see if we can get a Gloucester fan. We'll reach out, see if there's a Gloucester podcast, and do that. And if you're going down to Notts County, everyone have a safe trip. As I say, hopefully the weather improves. We haven't got snow and ice, but I think we might have. But if you go down there, let's hope you enjoy it. Let's hope the lads can come away with something that we can build on and keep it going. And Mickey, Dave, thank you very much. It's been
cheers.
It's been beautiful as ever.
It's been a pleasure.
What
was it? It's been emotional.
It has been emotional.
Not stuck in 2 smoking barrels.
Isn't it what he said to Liverpool after the FA Cup final? He went up to John Barnes when he had a hold of the FA Cup and went, "It's been emotional."
Oh, nice.
So there you go. Hang on, we've got 2 messages before we go. Hang on, we've got a couple there. Barry Lee's off on Christmas Day. There you go. We've got here. Any chance you can get a Gator player on soon? We'll ask. Obviously, with the way the club is at the minute, I don't know if they're going to be that keen on having people on, you know, when we're fighting for our lives. I don't know if they're gonna be happy with that. I don't know. I can ask. Great show again. Always a great laugh. Good talking points. No game this weekend. Me and my brother enjoyed it. Oh, well, there we go. Thank you very much. We hope you.
Well, the name like story, I wouldn't hope it's Louis.
In bed together like Laurel and Hardy. Got their nightgowns on. There we go. And there we go. So Fab as always, and he's put on X-Player. So yeah, we'll sort something.
Yeah,
we'll try and
work.
You'll work your magic, Davey.
We've got next week, and then the week after we might try and have see if we can talk Dave Allen into doing a quiz for between the three away. See who's the smartest out of us fickles. As long as
me and you haven't got a prayer, Mr. Garris, because this one went to university and has the far end of a fart anyway.
Just because I went to university means nout. I mean, what is that? You know,
anyone can go to university these days.
Well, exactly.
If you have been to university and you've got student debt. Bye.